Welcome to the Find Your Exit podcast, where the leading authority on buying, selling, fixing, and growing companies, Michelle Seiler Tucker, is dedicated to helping you find the path to retire rich and move on to your next adventure by exiting your business for the desired dream price you deserve. Get ready to find your exit with your host, Michelle Seiler Tucker.
Welcome to Plan Your Exit. Today we're going to talk about stepping into a seller's mindset. Timing is everything. You know, timing's imperative when you get married. Timing's important when you have children. And guess what? Timing is a necessity when you plan for the sale of your business. So I talked about the STGPS exit model on Find Your Exit podcast. If you didn't get a chance to listen to that, please go back and listen to that because it's all the steps and how you should plan your exit. Today, we're going to talk, instead about the steps of it, we're going to talk about the mindset of stepping into a seller's mindset and why you should sell your business, why you should plan your exit to sell your business. And the reason is because there's 32 million businesses in the United States. 99.9% of those are small business owners. The business landscape has changed dramatically. You hear about all the big box retailers dropping like flies. Toys R Us, JCPenney's, GNC closed down 900 locations. What you don't hear about is the small mom and pop businesses on every street corner, in every city, in every state across our great nation. And these business owners are having to close their business, or even worse, file bankruptcy. And when you file bankruptcy, not only do you lose your business assets, but you typically lose your family assets too, because most business owners commingle their business and family assets. They sign a personal guarantee. They mortgage their home or line of credit. So my mission today is to stop business owners from having to close and file bankruptcy. My mission, my passion is to get as many business owners as I possibly can to plan their exit. 8 out of 10 businesses will not sell. So it's very important that you start thinking about this now and you start setting yourself up for success, a successful exit. A successful exit when your timing is right. So to do that, you really have to get into what I call the seller's mindset and do some major soul searching. Because the problem is many business owners will just wake up one day and they're like, I've had it. I don't want to do this anymore. I can't take it. And they get burned out because they're dealing with the everyday stress of business. Business can be very stressful, especially if you don't have the right team in place. Business owners get burned out on the industry's changed. Maybe their product was thriving and now it's dying. Maybe they had a great customer base and now they're losing their customer base because consumers' buying habits change. Maybe they haven't diversified their client base and their client base is aging out. Technology's changed. Catastrophic events occur. Hurricanes, tornadoes, COVID-19. We're all facing this right now. Many business owners have had it with employees. They just can't take the stress of managing employees anymore. So there's also those external events and those internal events: divorce, health issues, death, partner disputes, death of a partner or a family member, having to relocate, issues with children, all kinds of different external and internal catastrophic events can cause a business owner to want to sell their business, your business, right now. But guess what? When a catastrophic event has occurred, or if you get burned out and you're done, then your business is typically trending downward, not upward, going in the wrong direction. We need to be going up in order to sell the business, in order to exit the business for your desired sales price. So that's why it's so important not to wait until you can't take it anymore. It's so important to plan that exit. So again, you exit on your terms. The best time to sell is when your business is doing well. Look, I've been doing this 20 years, sold hundreds and hundreds of businesses. And most owners struggle. The struggles are the same. The struggles are real. They're selling their business, which is their baby. It's kind of like when you send your kids off to college. Parents suffer from the empty nesters syndrome, right? What am I going to do now? My kids are gone. What am I going to do? That's my identity. Same thing with a business owner. That's your identity. It's what you've known for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. It's not your identity. It really isn't, but it has been for so long. So it's hard to part with your baby. It's hard to part with your identity. Very difficult. That's why a lot of deals never close, because of seller's remorse. There's seller's remorse and there's buyer's remorse. Right now, we're just going to deal with the seller's remorse. So how do you avoid the pitfalls of changing your mind? How do you avoid the pitfalls of seller's remorse? So I always tell my clients, you really have to do some major soul searching, and you cannot plan your exit until you've planned your beginning. Your beginning. What are you going to do next? What's waiting for you in the next phase of your life? What do you want to do? What are you passionate about? You know, so many owners have been working in their business for decades that their passion is buried deep underneath their business commitments, their family commitments, their friends, life, everyday life struggles. Passions get buried and you forget what you once loved to do. And, you know, I have a great story to illustrate this point. I was once selling a medical practice, husband and wife, and they have been in business for decades. And they were so on the fence about selling. One day they want to sell, the next day they don't want to sell. And I kept working with them and said, look, what do you want to do next? What's in your next phase of life? What's your beginning strategy? What have you always wanted to do but never really had the time or the money to do? And they're like, I don't know. We don't know. And then one time they called me, and it was pretty late at night. And I said, Michelle, I had an epiphany. I now know what I want to do. And they were so excited. And I said, what? What do you want to do? And can you call me in the morning? And they said, we've always wanted to own a bed and breakfast. We're passionate about that. We're excited about that. We've stayed in bed and breakfasts all over the world, and we know exactly what we want to create and how we want to create it. So now they know what they want. They have created their next phase of their life, their beginning strategy. So now they're much more comfortable exiting. But it took some time to get them there. You know, most of my owners have to go through this process to decide, if I exit my business, if I sell my identity, if I sell my baby, what do I do next? And you really got to give that some thought, and you got to spend some quiet time to think about it, what it is that you really liked. What did you like doing when you were a kid? What did you like doing before your passions got buried with the everyday commitments of life and your business? So do some soul searching to try to figure that out, because you cannot plan your exit. And you will not have a smooth transition unless you plan your beginning. So when I tell my clients to do some major soul searching, some of the things that I really want them to do is make a list. Make a list. On one side, write down what I want and what I don't want in my business and life anymore. On the second side, what I do want in my life. So make that list, and it could be something like, I don't want to worry about my business 24/7 anymore, on the don't want side. On the want side, I want to take stress-free vacations. Stress-free vacations. It might be, I don't want to deal with employees anymore. On the dump side. On the one side, I really want to spend more time with my family. So I walk through this exercise with my clients, and I have them go through the don't wants and the wants. And then I have them get crystal clear with what they really want, and I have them tear up the don't want side, completely tear it up, because you don't need it anymore. Catch it on fire. Whatever makes you feel good, to get rid of your don't want, to get rid of that and focus on what you do want. Focus on what you do want. Now, if you say, I still want to run my business, I still love my employees, I still love my customers and want to serve them, then guess what? Maybe exiting is not the right timing for you. That's why this exercise is so important for you to determine why and when you should exit your business, so you don't become a statistic. Okay? So next is what I call the seller sanity check. And on the seller sanity check, there's a series of questions I take my clients through, and I'm happy to include this download as part of the podcast. But you should ask yourself, how much will my business sell for? And you're not going to know that. You're going to have to contact an expert to do a business evaluation and let you know what your business will sell for. But that's question number one. What will my business sell for? What will be my tax liabilities? How much debt do I owe? How much will I walk away with? Important questions, right? How much is my lifestyle on a monthly and annual basis? When you work with financial planners, what do? They ask you, when do you want to retire? 20 years? Okay, in 20 years, how much do you need a month to live on? Same thing with selling a business. Same thing with exiting your company. What's your lifestyle? How much do you need to live on? Will the process, with the sale of the business, afford my lifestyle? Will I have to get a job? Will I have to buy a company? Where am I going to invest my money? Let's say I cash out for $10 million. Where am I going to put that $10 million? Believe it or not, cashing out for a high price tag causes stress too. So I work with my clients to determine all these things and answer all these questions, and also work with my clients on where they can invest that money. Because if I dump $10 million on their lap, what are you going to do with $10 million? Where are you going to invest it? And make sure that we have a solid plan in place so they can afford their lifestyle, so they can finally do that B&B or buy a different business or start a different business or retire and travel the world or whatever it is that you want to do. Buy an island, So I work with my clients to determine all this. And then the other really important questions is, will the new owner take care of my business? Will they grow my legacy? Very important. Will they grow my legacy? Will they take care of my employees? Will they continue to provide the same level of service, the same quality to my clients? Will they take care of my vendors? So all these questions have to be asked. This is called the seller's sanity check. And you cannot exit a business without, number one, knowing what you want and what you don't want. Number two, most importantly, knowing how much money you need, how much you need to live on, how will you still be comfortable. You can't do that without knowing the seller sanity check and being able to answer these questions and give you the peace of mind and comfort level that you need in order to move on with your exit. So there's different types of exits, There's transfer to a family. There's transfer to the kids. Now, back in the day, that used to be a pretty prevalent idea, is transferring your family business to your children. Nowadays, children just don't want it. Children want to go out there and create their own masterpiece. They want to go out there and do their own thing. They don't necessarily want to inherit mom and dad's business. So that's not really a viable solution as it once was. It may be, but you'll have to answer that. You can also sell to your employees, and we'll do a Find Your Exit podcast on just exiting your employees and the pros and cons of that. And then there's also selling a percentage of your business. You don't necessarily have to sell 100%. You can sell 60, 70, 80% of your business. You can also hire a management team to run your company, and you just get passive income. Now, that can be difficult too, because you got to have the right management company in there and who's going to manage it. And then you can sell your company for 100%, cash out. If you have real estate, you can 1031 that real estate. There are lots of other programs that you can invest your money in. So I walk through all of those ideas with my clients and help them plan their beginning before they plan their exit, and make sure that we're meeting their seller sanity check to their satisfaction so they're comfortable. And so to wrap up this podcast, again, know what you want, know what you don't want. Some great quotes that I would like to go over with you real quick. According to BizTrade, did you know, according to BizTrade, it can take almost 2 years to sell your company? Almost 2 years. So you got to start planning, just like you plan for your kids to go to college. You got to plan to exit your business. Plan which exit fits your business, yourself and your family's needs best. CNBC states that many sellers hang out for the perfect time to sell their business, and the perfect time never comes. So don't wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time may never come. And then a catastrophic event can occur, and then you'll be forced to have to close your company. And then CNBC also states that seller's remorse is common because owners have not figured out what they will do after the sale of their business. Owners have not figured out what they will do after the sale of the business. So it's not just me saying this, it's CNBC saying it too. So it's not just me saying this, it's CNBC saying this too. So again, before you plan your exit, plan your beginning, go through the seller's sanity check, put together what you don't want, what you do want, tear up the don't side, focus on what you want. Focus on what you want. Look, we go around once. You have grown your business. You've put your heart, your soul, your energy, your money into growing your business. You made huge sacrifices along the way. This is your legacy. This is something that takes planning. It takes timing. It takes getting this right. You don't want to get this wrong. So I always tell my clients it's hard to read the label from the inside of the bottle. You need an outsider's perspective to do so. Align yourself with someone who can walk you through this process, because you don't want to leave your baby in the wrong hands. You want to make sure you plan the right exit for you and your family. Thank you so much for joining me on Find Your Exit. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.
Thanks for listening to the Find Your Exit podcast. Don't forget to check out Michelle Seiler Tucker's Build to Sell Blueprint books and Exit Rich, along with more blogs, videos, and resources at findyourexit.org. Be sure to connect with Michelle on Facebook or LinkedIn, and stay tuned for her next episode by subscribing in your favorite podcast player.